welcome back to my channel on this Friday morning, afternoon or evening across the world where you may be at. And today I'm going to be talking about Chris Packham's recent appearance on Good Morning Britain, and the topic was activism, should we break the law? This topic really irritated me somewhat, and because Chris Packham is a well-respected BBC garden show wildlife preservation person, but also he is a autistic man who supports the mental health community and the autistic community and the disability community. This topic has me really fired up because he basically has come out and said that he feels it's okay for activists within the wildlife conservation economic situation to go and break the law. But again, he's also given that message to the autistic, disabled, mental health community, because he's saying if you are an activist or advocate, it's okay for you to raise your voice and go and break British law. We have laws and policies in place to protect us from doing wrongdoing, e.g. breaking the law, because it's one, illegal, and two, we shouldn't be breaking the law unless it's the very, 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 very last resort of doing so. But activism is done in the right way. Like, you can advocate by writing to your MP, local councillors, local social services, local hospital physicians. You can advocate your rights to people who need to hear them, like your local political parties, your local disability parties, people who actually matter within the topic realm. And by Chris Packham going on Good Morning Britain and advocating that it's okay for us to break the law, it simply isn't good enough and isn't right. He shouldn't have been advocating on Good Morning Britain with Richard Madeley and Susanna, who were interviewing him, to say it's okay if we get to the end of our reason because the Prime Minister and other people aren't listening about wildlife and climate change. I know he was advocating it more towards the climate change movement and the wildlife preservation and people who are passionate about animals. Yes, I'm passionate about animals, and more needs to be done about animals and how to save the planet. I agree partially with him on that. But it's not okay to advocate violence or breaking the law in any size, shape or capacity because you feel that we're not being listened to by the media, by the government. There is always the right way of doing things. There's the right way of writing letters, emails, visiting in person. We don't need to go and break the law doing things like chaining ourselves to buildings or attacking members of Parliament with death threats or doing things that we know are not legal and not right to be doing so. And by Chris Packham, who is a well-trusted, well-respected authority figure within the disability, mental health and autistic community, he should not be getting involved in political affairs. It's just ridiculous, it's absurd, and he's giving the wrong message to people who are vulnerable, particularly people who don't understand, who are on the autistic spectrum or mental health spectrum or disability spectrum, because they might think, oh yay, Chris is speaking up for us, yay, well done, yay, he's advocating for us to have our freedom and our right of expression, our freedom of expression. Yes, I understand that, and to a point, yes, we are entitled to our free speech and our thoughts and feelings, yes. But when it comes to him saying that we should go and break the law if we don't get listened to, dude, you are delusional. Why are you preaching about breaking the law when you've even said yourself you are not willing to break the law because you wouldn't cope well in prison? What chance, what hell and high water hope do we have as disabled people, people with mental health issues, people on the autistic spectrum have to face potentially going to the criminal justice system or prison? And yet you're saying, oh, it's okay, go and break the law because we're not being listened to. The government doesn't want to listen to us. We need to raise our voices, our concerns in the right manner. It needs to be done via letters, emails, in-person visits, drop-in meetings, charity meetings, writing to your local charities, writing to your local political parties. You're, people who are in that social scene of situations, and for you to advocate and say to us that you feel personally that it is okay to break the law is absurd. It's not right. You're going to get a lot of people potentially in a very lot of hot water and trouble, and it's extremely dangerous that people with autism don't get mislaid into this, or people with mental health issues or disabilities, because we should never, never, ever, 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 and I strictly say this with the passion, do not ever break the law. Activism and advocacy is our freedom of speech. It is the right way of doing things, doing videos, TikToks, Instagram posts. That's the way that we advocate and be the activists that we want to be. You can't go round breaking the law because you feel you're not being heard. It is absolutely absurd. It's ridiculous. It's just you're preaching the wrong message. You're expecting people to listen to you, and you're such a high up, respected person. And what the hell Good Morning Britain were thinking about letting him on there to say, oh, it's okay to break the law. Yes, I know it was based on climate change and his feelings and thoughts on climate change and animals. Yes, I get that. Protecting animals, yes, I agree with. Protect them, and if needs be, do protest. But protest peacefully, legally, the right way, not the wrong way. Don't go down to Parliament and start demanding things, or, we do it the right way, the legal way, the way that it's worked for God knows how many years before you advocate violence, because technically you are advocating violence, whether it's directly through you or other organisations you're partnering with or the media you're partnering with. Because on Good Morning Britain, that interview was bizarre to me. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, you can't tell people to go and break the law. It's just, you can't. It's absurd. Like, I advocate for myself all the time being an autistic woman, but would I ever break the law? No, hell no. Because we have hell policies in place to protect us. We have the UK Parliament policies. We have local town policies. We have council policies to advocate our rights in the right time frame, the right manner, the right person. You can't go advocating for all of us to break the law. It simply doesn't make any common damn sense, and you're basically inciting terror and violence. It's wrong, and a lot of vulnerable people potentially could be affected by this, and if I don't speak out now, not a lot of people will. You can't, I know you said that, you're not advocating people to take to the streets and stuff, fair enough, but you can't advocate people to say, it's okay, go and break the law, you'll face no penalty. What? 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 Are you serious? Like, I know the economic situation's not great right now. I get it. I get that the planet is in a bad state and the economy is falling to pieces, and I get that. I get about protecting it and preserving it for future generations and looking after our plants and the wildlife and creatures in the sea and all this stuff. Yeah, great. Go for it. But when you're trying to tell people to advocate to break the law and saying, okay, keep raising your voice, if that means break the law, go for it. I'm sorry, no, because I just wouldn't do it. And two, you should never ever advocate anyone breaking the law, whether you're an advocate, an activist, a campaigner, a speaker. You should never ever 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 tell people to go ahead and break the law in their local towns, communities. Chris, I don't know what you were thinking getting involved in this political argument. I really don't understand you. I think you're an amazing autism ambassador and autistic man. Yes, you are. Highly talented and exceptional, yes. But this you've got completely wrong. Please let me know, guys, what you think down below in the comments section, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!